Hey there, toy collector friends and Star Wars fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the time-travelling toy collector, and this is the Star Wars Retro Collection New Hope box set 2 from Hasbro, using the old Kenner packaging designs and so on and so forth. This was recently, it's been pushed and pushed, and I was hoping to get one at Star Wars Celebration 2023, and then it wasn't available because they were looking to forward launch it, and it became available on May the 4th, funnily enough, and I was lucky enough to be able to purchase it, and here it is. It is the follow-up to the original box, the first box set, which contains all of those classic molds, 6 figures in total, and this box set is no different. Again, it has with it the classic lineup, where we have C-3PO, R2-D2, Ben Kenobi, Death Squad Commander, Jawa, and the Tuscan Raider. And you know, it's ticking for me. It's ticking so many psychological boxes. So here we have, now again, of course, I had all of these originally back in the 70s and the 80s. But to see them brought together again like this in this collection is absolutely indescribable. And I love this, that the Vac-metal finish for C-3PO and R2-D2's head is brilliant, because they made such a thing of that back in the day, and it meant nothing to me. It kind of still doesn't, but what it does mean is that this is very, very true to detail, and to the details of the original figures, which is just fantastic. Again, it's still a shame they've got this logo here plonked on the front, but I can totally understand why, and it is a really nicely robust box. Let's take a look at the top of the packaging, and we can see the Star Wars branding of the day. There are some of the carded pictures of the characters included. I'm just super psyched up about R2 and C-3PO, but of course we've got Ben Kenobi, we've got the Jawa, we've got the Sand Person, and we have the Death Star Commander, and I am psyched. The side of the box is just the logo, the back of the box is the same as the front of the box. We've got the warning there about small parts, please don't eat them. Side of the box is the same, bottom of the box is all the essential licensing, etc. information, small parts, blah blah blah. It is phenomenal. Just ahead of pressing record, I did take the figures out of the box, and I've got them piled next to me here. I have not yet looked at all of them, just because I've scooped them out and piled them up ready to go. I just did that for continuity and ease, so I don't even know exactly what order they're in. Okay, so first up we have the Jawa. This is the Jawa figure, again with the logo. I'm not going to talk about it every time. It's a sticker. It's a shame it's on there. I might try and steam it off, I might not. And this is the Jawa with the glow-in-the-dark eyes. At least in the old days they had glow-in-the-dark eyes. I don't know if it still does. I can't actually see any eyes in there at all. I think there might be. Again with the little pistol thing that's so easily lost, and those little grippy hands. You'll note that I haven't taken them off the card, unless I have it's literally just been delivered. So I'm super excited to be able to share this with you. Again, the back of the card, which is why I didn't know what it was going to be. They missed the trick here to include that sort of original marketing ploy of having what is now the original 12 figures that they have released across these 2 box sets pictured here, but you know, they do have that list of what's in this wave. But I think that would have been a nice nod to the fans. But you know, again, it doesn't get much nicer than this nod, I won't lie. I do again still think it's a shame we get this detailing around the edges to make it look worn out and tired. I understand why they do it. I completely understand why they do it, don't get me wrong. However, we don't need it to look old. We get it. Yeah, we get that it's you know, we get the style of it. You don't need to do that. So here we have the next one up, and it's the Death Squad Commander. I remember getting this. I remember having all of them. It's just unbelievable. And he's got that rifle that seemed to be the model that everyone had. All the characters pretty much had that rifle model, as I recall. Again, you can see really clearly the 5 points of articulation and that's us being lucky, just with the shoulders and the hips and the head swivel. Again, I'll just give you everything there on the front is as was, and then there we have the back, which is of course updated to reflect the modern time, because it's not an original, but it is an original mold. So I'm very excited to have this back in the collection, and not unreasonably priced, I would say. I got it directly from Hasbro Pulse. I would normally purchase something like this from somewhere such as In Demand Toys, for example, but their allocation had sold out in the blink of an eye, and I had no choice but to go to Hasbro Pulse. Not that that's a problem, because Hasbro Pulse do, in my experience, have really good customer service. Here's the Tuscan Raider, or the Sand Person, as we would refer to them in good old days, with those wonderful chunky legs. The chunky legs were incredible, and I don't know, I should check the Jawa. But interestingly here, the Jawa had that soft, the soft cape, and the Sand Person here, the Tuscan Raider, has the vinyl cape with the hood that you can put up or put down, and the hands that only held things in one way, and you have to go, and so you could do that moment of where he's going on Tatooine over Luke's head. Again, it's a beautiful reproduction of that original figure, down to all of the face sculpt detailing there, which we can see very clearly, very clearly indeed. And again, those chunky legs with that sort of robe effect, which Ben Kenobi also had, Princess Leia also had, a few of the characters had it, and it always made me smirk, because I just thought, yeah, that's not how legs work if they're in roby things. But you know what, this is what we got in the day, and it's as a result of figures like this one that we have things like the Black Series now, because of the commitment and the imagination of the people who have played with these toys and lived with these toys. I'll show you the back again for completeness. There's nothing really that's new here that you haven't seen on any of the previous ones. Again, the only thing I think they could have given over some of this to have the increased number of figures shown on the back in the old school style, but you know what, I get it, I do get it. I'm saying that I don't really get it, because I would have liked them to do it, so I don't get it enough. Complete with his staff there, which I always thought looked a little bit like some bad drainage equipment, but never mind. But yeah, again, a beautiful rendition of that original style figure, and I'm here for this. I'm here for all of them. I'm loving it. Star Wars Ben ObiWan in brackets Kenobi, with Alec Guinness there giving us his best lightsaber based Ben. And here we have again one of these lightsabers that pops in and out of the arm, with the, you probably see there we go, there's the little lever to help with that. And again, the vinyl cape. I think Ben's also got those magic trousers that are really a cape, really sorts of folds that aren't really folds, because they are in fact trousers, that follows in that sort of format. But yeah, I can't, well, some of you will know, and if you've already pre-ordered these, you've probably got them today, or they'll be with you imminently. But even down to the face sculpt, it's indelibly etched into my mind, that face sculpt of Ben Kenobi with that beard and that generic grandfatherly face that doesn't really look anything like poor old Sir Alec Guinness. But again, wonderful, lacking completely in any sort of meaningful posability, but he can do clop lightsaber battles with Darth Vader, which, to be fair, is what the lightsaber battles did look like with Darth Vader in the original film. That's not shade, that's love. Okay, well, it's obvious really. So here we go for the final two. So here we have C-3PO looking absolutely resplendent. Again, I said I wasn't going to moan about the sticker, but it's a shame that picture is covered up. I really have to look at that. But here we have him again, same points of articulation and the holes in the feet for the stand like the other figures have. But yeah, that metallized look doesn't say anything on the packaging. I think if I remember rightly, the original packaging did say something about the the Vac-metal finish. But I might be imagining that, but I'm sure it did. But yeah, he's really, I hope you can see that well on the camera, how he's really glinting in a way that some of the newer figures perhaps don't. Again, back of the packaging, much like the front of the packaging, so nothing really to get overexcited about there. But again, what a fantastic, beautiful rendition of C-3PO. And again, I think if I'm right in saying C-3PO was the second figure that I got. We all know the first figure I ever got, and he's coming next. And he looks spectacular because I've just cast an eye over him because he's face up. So yeah, this is to have these two reunited in this format really makes me want to get another box so that I can open it and become that person. Because not that I wouldn't necessarily open these, although I'd have to do it really carefully, but I think there's just something so wonderful about seeing them on their card that I wouldn't want to do that. So I'm split between wanting to play with them, not, you know, take them out and handle them, and keep them in their beautiful cards. And talking of beautiful cards, here is R2-D2 as he first appeared. This was the first ever Star Wars figure that I got, with that ludicrous wraparound sticker. I actually think this sticker looks a slightly better quality than the one we had back in the 80s. But yeah, that big hole at the bottom. You know, possibly the face that bore no resemblance whatsoever to your actual R2-D2. Big circles, not really. Where's the square bit? And I remember thinking, but it didn't matter. It was representative enough that we were able to play and have fun and have adventures and all the rest of it. And that is why, well, that's why I think toys are so important to us all, but also why I think this collection is so fantastic, and why I'm really glad that I was able to get on board with it, because it's fantastic. And I know that there are other retro collection figures out there, but I'm really hoping Hasbro continues to release them in this collectible box, because again, from a storage point of view and a presentational point of view, I think it's really smart move on their part, bringing them together. Have I shown you the back? There's nothing new to see here. It is the same, just for, there you go, you can see it's all the same there. But here we have that frontage with the good old-fashioned Star Wars emblem of Luke and presumably Leia, looking nothing like Luke and Leia, with a lightsaber that looks nothing like a lightsaber, doing their thing in the corner. That was sort of key to the original artwork and the photography. Cinematic posters is where I'm going with that, and other marketing. I can't tell you, and I probably don't need to. Some of you will know. Those of you that don't know will have your own equivalency, I'm sure. Just that sense of being able to have this in hand, on card, with that blasted sticker wrapped around it. When I was a kid, a little bit of pointless history, I used to play with my Star Wars figures in the bath, and at no point did I work out that R2-D2 was particularly poorly designed for some playing in the bath. Yeah, so I was directly responsible for the wear and loss of his body detailing. Complete idiot, but I was like, 6 or 7 years old or whatever, if that. So yeah, but yeah, I just loved the figure, and I'm just so pleased that the simplicity of it is back, and not only is it back, but it's back in my hands. You can see the rest of it there around the back. I appreciate it's not the easiest thing to see without taking out the packaging, but as I say, if I can track down another box, I may well treat myself just so I can get them out. Same for the box set one as well. So here we are. I'm conscious I'm going to over talk it, so I'm going to see if I can stand them all up in an alignment here. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to try, and I'll re-angle the camera in a second, because I'm conscious that won't necessarily work quite how I want it to. I'm not convinced it's going to work at all, to be honest. I think I might be out of luck round about now. Yeah, so I'm just going to try and bring you down a bit. There you go. That's what I'm trying. You can see where I'm trying to go with this, but I'm not sure I'm going to achieve it. But yeah, so there we have some absolute. I'll just hold these ones up just just briefly. Absolutely beautiful figures. I'm just so made up, and I'm so pleased and so grateful that Hasbro got these out so quickly after releasing them, because again, so many of the pre-orders on the black set stuff isn't coming out yet, whereas they announced this and bang, within 3 or 4 days they're in your possession. That's pretty good. So I'm not even going to ask if you think these figures deserve a place on your shelf. If you're really lucky, you may have the originals already on your shelf, for which I am hugely jealous, but well done you. Otherwise, I'm just so made up that I've got them. I think it's a no-brainer. Anyone that's a fan of the original stuff, this is the collection to have. And it took me a long time to warm up and come back to it. The box sets, I think, tipped me over the edge, because I think also it became a sense of enormity trying to go around and start collecting these figures, which is why I'm really hopeful that they'll continue with the Star Wars ones, do the same with Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. If they go beyond that, then maybe I'll be interested, but certainly these classic figures really do it, and I just really hope that they carry on with this range, because I think it's just such a wonderful, nostalgic. I'm going to leave these two out because they were my first, and I won't say they're my favourites, but they kind of are. You kind of know they are, don't you? Yeah, you just know. So thanks for joining me for the last 16, 17 or so minutes. I've been the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a fantastic audience, and I really appreciate you carving time out to spend with me. If you've liked what you've seen in the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, because I've got other Star Wars stuff coming. I've got Star Wars stuff in the Star Wars playlists, but you might also be interested in Doctor Who stuff, Star Trek stuff, Battlestar Galactica stuff, G.I. Joe, Doctor Who, and all sorts of things. Transformers, there's all sorts of things already in playlists and yet to come. So I hope very much to see you around the channel, and if not around the channel now, then certainly in a future video. All that's left for me to do is to say thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. And please remember that things of beauty, which these are, truly are a toy forever. Bye-bye for now.